Good day, I am Kimberly Quinazares and I will be reporting about the culture in Filipino context. The Filipino culture is one of the most well-known in the world for its uniqueness and a rich history. So, that's it. If Paris is known for its Eiffel Tower or for a city of love, and if Japan is known for its respectfulness, so Philippines is known for its culture, for its unique and rich history. So, the common cultural practices in the Philippines are as follows. Okay, first, Filipinos are very respectful. From the moment they are born into this world, they are already taught how to be respectful. So the proof of this is the usage of po and opo. So in every statement, if we are using po and opo, it is to show our respect towards the elders. So it is often used when you are a Tagalog, because in Bisaya, it is not very applicable, such as nikao naka. So it will be a little bit awkward if you will say nikao naka po. But in Tagalog, it is just casual. It is just very casual to them. So it will depends on your society and community you are living of. Okay. They have a culture of pagmamano, which is where they raise the backs of their hands of their elders to their foreheads as a sign of respect. And you know what, guys? There is a time during my elementary days, we are going back to our house from the school. So it is almost 6 p.m. I think. It is slightly dark already. The fact is, we had a really long distance from school to our house. So we often got home dark already. So that's it. During our way back, we crossed an old woman in our path, and she is wearing an all white. So we felt scared. We got scared because it's an old woman and we don't know her. But you know what? We still blessed her, because for us, everyone who will be crossed, if it is older than us, we must bless to them. So although we're very scared and we are freezing that time, we still blessed her. And as I am thinking of it now, I realize that we did it because we had the feelings that we must do it, because it is a respect towards them. So even though we were scared, but we are Filipinos and Filipinos are very respectful. That's why it happened. So the next one, Filipinos help one another. More popularly known as bayanihan, Filipinos help one another without expecting anything in return, so that undertaking their tasks and responsibilities become much easier. Sometimes this is called community spirit. Okay, I witnessed this myself, because there is a time in our house, there is a time in my place, there is a certain house that needs to be transferred to another place. It is not so far, but the fact that we have to carry the house, it needs a lot of people. So they asked help, and the heartwarming part is the whole neighborhood came and helped them. So it is just very heartwarming to see my neighbors helping each other together with my father, my grandfather, and other cousins and neighborhood. So they're not expecting for return, but the owner of the house, a sign or to show her gratitude and thanksgiving for those people who helped, for my neighbors. She cooked something, they cooked something to offer, and they shared the meal. So it is just very heartwarming to see them, because it often regards as a bonding already also. So that's it. Filipinos help one another. So third, the Filipinos have the longest Christmas celebrations. as early as August, you can hear Christmas songs and jingles being played in the malls or in the restaurants in the Philippines. Christmas celebrations last around the first or second week of January. So, this is very true because when the month of August came, or when we are in the month of August, knowing that next month will be September, and when we can hear that the month ends with bear, such as September, October, November, December, it really feels Christmas. So as early as August, we can already hear those Christmas songs, and by hearing it, we can suddenly feel the excitement, the joyful spirit of Christmas. So that's how early Filipinos celebrating Christmas. And also, if we were celebrating so early, we were also ended it so late. Even though the Christmas is over, sometimes even it is January already, there is still a Christmas parties over there. So that's how long the Filipinos celebrate Christmas. So next is Filipinos are resilient people. Filipinos have also developed to become very resilient people because of what they have been through in the years that have passed. Yes, we've been a lot. We've been through a lot. We were colonized by different countries. We've been in a lot of calamities, and actually, most of the typhoons that really hit us hard are the Bagyong Yolanda, Bagyong Odette, the Bagyong Agaton. I can say that I am a witness of this typhoon that happened last year, December, the Bagyong Odette. Our house was partially damaged, but we still managed to stand up and to fix everything. The saddest part is one of our neighbors, their house was completely damaged by the typhoon, and it's really heartbreaking to see them that way because although we wanted to help, but we are also fixing ours. So, but although they were experiencing such, we can still see the smile of their faces. They are still very thankful that they were safe, although their house was completely damaged by the typhoon. And that is how Filipinos' mindset is. We are very resilient, and all typhoons that have passed, we still manage to stand strong and still give smile on our faces. Another culture in Filipino context is that the food culture in the Philippines. Filipinos are big eaters and love to eat rice. Rice is a food staple in every Filipino's meal every day. So it is very true because as a Filipino myself, I can really say that without rice, the meal would not be complete. In every meal, we always searching for a rice. Although any condiments will do, any viands will do, at least rice will be there. So that's how Filipinos always love to eat rice. And the last culture is Filipino people are known to have close family ties. This is why you may notice that when you are in the Philippines, the people in a vicinity most of the time know each other. So this is very true. This is because when you are living in this place, you also wanted that your cousins or your brothers will be staying here also, your relative. That's why mostly of the vicinity or mostly of the surroundings, you know them very well. And we are very different from other country because other country in the age of 18, they already separated from their families. They already parted ways from their families, and it's very different from Philippines.
Good day everyone, I am Sixto Ali. I am here to report my assigned topic, which is custom. There are 5 examples of custom. First, buying and bringing pasalubong. It's always a must for Filipinos to give something to their friends and loved ones, any kind of pasalubong from the place they recently traveled to. For example, i-travel ka sa Bohol niya, iniguli nimo kay magdaba karon og kalamay or mga t-shirt, something pwede mapasalubong. Second, eating rice thrice a day. Rice is staple food among Filipinos. They eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'll just use condiments such as tuyo, soy sauce, suka, or vinegar or bagoong to spice up a simple meal. So kita mga Filipino kung mga unta kay di man gyud mahimo kung wala tay kanon. Mas daghan jud ang kanon kay syempre Filipino ta. Third, using tabo in restroom. Many Filipinos using tabo instead of a toilet paper because they believe that only by using such as will they be adequately clean. So kita mga Filipinos kay mostly man gyud nato nagamit ra man jud og tabo. Di ta rich, uban ra naman. Fourth, being late. One who lives in the Philippines will also get used to the Filipinos' time, wherein Filipinos come in late to events, meeting and other gatherings. For example, namoy sabot alas 5 pero niabot siya alas 6 or even later. So next, bahala na or come what may habit. The bahala na or come what may habit is something that you can do right now but instead you let it happen the next day or never done in the right time. So, for example, na kay ako, na yung mga buhatan sa eskwelahan kay onya na lang na antun mabot ang time adlaw nga nating pass wala pa di ay late na naman ang resulta.
Good day everyone, I am Karen Alian. I will be reporting about the tradition and Filipino context. So, we have heard the pamamanhikan. So, in Filipino cultures, lovers will go through a lot of stages before actually calling it official. So, there's the panliligaw or courtship stages, the harana and the old-fashioned love letter stages, and many other things that will make you feel helplessly in love. So, after all this, there is pamamanhikan. So, pamamanhikan is one of the family-oriented Filipino values and traditions in the Philippines related to marriage. So, once a couple decide to tie a knot, traditionally, pamamanhikan is done by the man and his family to formally ask the woman's family for her hand in marriage. Old-fashioned as it is, so pamamanhikan is a tradition that helps bring the couple's families closer, which is especially important in very family-oriented society like the Philippines.
That's a kick.
So next, we have the cockfighting or sabong. So, cockfighting or sabong is a common sport in the Philippines. Although it seems like a bloody and even cruel pastime to outsiders, within the Philippines, cockfighting is part of life. So, hopes, dreams, and fortunes are pinned onto the fate of these carefully bred birds. And because this sport is so ingrained in Philippines culture, I had always assumed that it always a distinctly Filipino practice. So I discovered that cockfighting or sabong is still practiced in many other parts of the world. In fact, Filipino have been breeding rooster and dwelling with cocks for thousands of years. So next, we have the street parades. So if you ever live in a small town in the Philippines, you'll know how much the Filipino love their parades. So each village and city has its own fiesta, which it celebrates in unique style. And there are many more festive occasions
That's a kick.
throughout the year that call for an organized march through the street. So, street parades is a procession of people or vehicles moving through a public place in order to celebrate an important day or event. Next, we have kamayan. So, Filipino loves to eat, and when the food is especially fulfilling, they eat kamayan style. From the Filipino word kamay or hand, kamayan is the traditional way of dining using one's bare hand. So, kamayan is also known as kinamot in Visayan language. It is traditional Filipino methods for eating with the bare hands. It is also used to describe the Filipino communal feast where the food is served in the banana leaves and eaten without utensils. So, kamayans allow you to enjoy a more fulfilling bonding moment with those whom you shared a meal with. Lastly, we have Fiesta celebration.
That's a
If
kick.
there's a celebration you wouldn't wanna miss out on when you are in the Philippines, it would be colorful fiestas happening all year around. Sinulog Festival is one of the famous festival in the Philippines. Fiesta is a religious celebration by the Roman Catholic people in honor of Saint that festivate mostly coincide with the day of patron of a particular place, and each barangay has a fiestas which holds true for municipalities and cities depending on the political subdivision in the Philippines. Traditionally, the fiesta is a time of joyful celebration for Filipinos who cook heaps or hearty food, throw open their doors to visitors and parade in the street. So fiestas are important because they merge and nurture the culture, history, family, relationship, and camaraderie, and also introduce us to the new acquaintances.
So those are the culture, customs, and tradition in Filipino context. But before ending our report, I would like to discuss the difference between culture, custom, and tradition, because these three terms are often misunderstood, and we are very curious what are the differences of these three terms, because it seems that they are very similar to each other. So these are the differences. Culture is a bundle of ideas, behavior, customs which represents a particular group of people in society. So by having the culture, it reflects what the society is. So for example, we heard that these certain people are talking about are having a language of like this, so we can say that, oh, they belong to that society. That's the culture. The custom, a behavior that is habitual but not necessarily passed down. So these are often regards as our habit. So it is often regards as the Filipino habits, but it is not necessarily that we have to pass down it to generations. So this is the opposite of tradition, because tradition are those ideas that have to be passed down in generations. So beliefs that we got from our mga ninuno, from our ancient. So that's it. That's the difference of these three terms, and I hope I've made a clarifications. So that's all. Thank you so much for listening. God bless and have a good day.